Have you ever had a day when everything just seems to go wrong? You wake up late, you spill coffee on your shirt, you get a flat tire on the way to work, and then you get fired. It can be easy to feel like the world is against you and that nothing is going your way. But what if I told you that there is a way to stop clinging to the things that hurt you and start living a happier, more fulfilling life? The ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus believed that the only thing that we can control is our own thoughts and actions. Everything else is outside of our control. When we cling to things that are outside of our control, we set ourselves up for disappointment and suffering. Our well-being is in danger when we rely too much on the unpredictable outside world. A long time ago, a wise philosopher named Epictetus noticed that we feel burdened and dragged down because we care about too many things. But he didn't say we should stop caring altogether. Instead, he suggested that we focus on the important things and let go of what doesn't really matter. Epictetus believed that what matters and what doesn't is connected to our lives as thinking beings in a world that is always changing. Some things are in our control, while others are not. When we concentrate on the things we can control, we become strong. But if we waste our energy on things we can't control, we become weak. It's especially harmful when we cling to things we can't control because it leads to a life of suffering. So, what are these things we tend to cling to, and why is it better to let go of them? This video explores Epictetus's philosophy and reveals what he believed we should focus on to be happy and content. But before we continue, make sure to watch the entire video and consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on post notifications so you never miss any upload of ours. Dichotomy of control. Stop worrying about the things you can't control. Epictetus thought that we get into trouble when we care too much about things that we can't control. He gave an example of being sent away from home, like being forced to go live somewhere else. He said that even though that might seem really bad, it doesn't have to make us miserable. It all depends on how we think about it. If we cling to the idea that being sent away is the worst thing ever, or if we hold on to our stuff and the people we're leaving behind, then we'll be really sad. But if we focus on staying positive and being calm, then we can handle it much better. Epictetus believed that there are some things we can control and some things we can't. The things we can control are things like our thoughts, what we do, and what we want. The things we can't control are things like our bodies, our stuff, and what other people think of us. So, he said, we should really focus on what we can control and let go of everything else. If we only worry about the things we can control, then nothing from the outside world can hurt us. He also warned us about getting too attached to things we can't control. We often get tempted by all the exciting things the world offers, like fun experiences or nice things. But if we get too attached to them, we'll end up feeling really sad when we lose them. The good news is that Epictetus gives us ways to do this. He says that our ability to think and reason is really powerful. By using our minds wisely and not valuing things that are outside of our control, we can find true peace and happiness within ourselves. Stop clinging to objects, people, and power. It's natural for us to get attached to the things we own and the people we love, but that attachment can cause us pain. We mistake attachment for love, thinking that we need those things or people to be happy. But the truth is, clinging to them only leads to suffering. Imagine a dinner party. When something is offered to you, take it with moderation. If it passes you by, don't try to hold on to it. And if it hasn't arrived yet, don't desperately reach out for it. This mindset applies to everything in life, whether it's possessions, relationships, or positions of power. We should appreciate and enjoy them, but not become dependent on them or let them define our happiness. Epictetus advises us to change our perception of the things we love in order to toughen ourselves against the pain of loss. Instead of thinking that we own something or have a right to it, we should see everything as borrowed. When something is no longer with us, we should say that it has been returned rather than lost. If our child or spouse passes away, they have simply been returned. If our possessions are taken away, they too have been returned. It doesn't matter who takes them away. What matters is that they were only entrusted to us temporarily. By understanding that everything is impermanent and not within our control, we can free ourselves from the pain of attachment. Stop caring what others think. It's amazing how much we care about what people think of us. We often go to great lengths just to be liked and accepted. But why? In today's world, not being liked doesn't threaten our survival like it once did in tribal times. However, we still believe that having a positive reputation brings certain advantages. It can help us make friends, find romantic partners, or secure job opportunities. Epictetus, however, challenges the importance we place on others' opinions. He suggests that our inner peace and equanimity are far more valuable than seeking constant approval. He advises us not to be upset if we're not invited to a party, especially if we don't genuinely enjoy the company of the host. Attending social events and praising people we don't truly appreciate require energy and compromise. Epictetus asks us to consider the alternative, the freedom and tranquility that come from not being obligated to engage in insincere actions. He even suggests that we should be willing to endure being laughed at, ridiculed, and despised if it means preserving our inner calm and freedom. Epictetus encourages us to adopt a mindset where the opinions of others hold little power over us. Instead of letting negative remarks or judgments affect us, we should view them as mere misunderstandings or limited perspectives. By recognizing that people's opinions are beyond our control, we can choose not to be provoked or offended by them. Ultimately, it boils down to our ability to skillfully navigate the tool of forming opinions about opinions. When someone provokes us, it's not their words or actions that insult us, but rather our own interpretation and reaction to them. Stop clinging to outcomes and ideas. Let go of your attachment to specific outcomes and fixed ideas. The universe operates without mercy, and our attempts to control or alter it are futile. Yet many people constantly dwell on what should or shouldn't happen in the present, past, or future. The more they resist the natural flow of life, the more they suffer. Many people fixate on what should or shouldn't happen, causing themselves more suffering. Imagine a servant who is expected to obey. However, Epictetus reminds us that it's unrealistic to expect complete obedience from them at all times. People have their own nature and won't always meet our expectations. So what matters more, having a perfectly obedient servant or finding inner peace? This analogy applies to many aspects of life. We can't expect the world to always be agreeable or conform to our ideals. Silencing those we find offensive won't eliminate conflicts because differences of opinion will always exist. Instead, we can focus on cultivating kindness within ourselves, which is something we can control. Whether others follow suit is up to them. Epictetus advises us not to demand that things go exactly as we wish, but to accept and embrace things as they actually happen. By adjusting our attitude and finding contentment in the present moment, we can navigate life more smoothly. We can't control external circumstances, but we have control over our internal reactions. Someone may insult us, take away our belongings, or betray our trust, but we choose how much power we give these events over our thoughts and emotions. The world's unpredictable nature is beyond our control, and holding on to it only brings us loss. So how do you personally approach difficult situations? Are there instances in your life where you have found it beneficial to detach and let go? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. Also, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications to stay up to date on our latest videos. Thanks for watching.